owns 800 billion of U.S. debt, which they do, then of course the United States, as the borrower, has to pay interest, which means that you and I and everybody else gets to pay taxes every year that go to Washington, where they don't fund our roads or schools or hospitals. It's money that the United States government collects and sends to Beijing to pay interest on the debt, and the Chinese use to develop the Red Army. Do you understand? All of this has to happen beneath the surface. Because if Americans understood what I just said, they would realize that beneath all the reality is, is the opposite. That's the reality of the economic of capitalism.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Rakah, Kadash, that belongs to the apostles of GMS, and to say Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And, of course, this is no stranger to the economic system. A lot of people don't really understand it. And it took some explaining to me to actually get some understanding on it. And as I go further into it, it starts to make even more sense. Now, empires is no stranger to the collapse of money either. So even with this, you already saw the other guy's expression when he realizes, shit, this place is basically going to fall. It is written, it's reading all over his face. A lot of people think that this place can be brought back if depending on who you bring into the office. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Hell, Hitler was one person who was able to do such a thing. No one's ever been able to do it since. We already say how that went. So, America owes all this money. I think it's, what is it? 30 or 60 trillion now? That's a lot of money. And what he said is plus interest. So all this money, as he mentioned, does not go mostly to anything here of any important factor. It goes to where the debt is at. So I'm gonna kick it off with this. So America's or the United States debt to China began in 2000. Now here's the funny part. So in 2000, when the U.S. supported China's entry into the World Trade Organization, right? This led to a surge in Chinese exports to the U.S., generating large amounts of dollars to China. China then invested much of these dollars in the U.S. Treasury bonds, which are considered a safe investment. By 2013, China's holdings of the U.S. debt had reached 1.3 trillion. Now, mind you, that's back in 2013. It's way over that limit now, making it the largest foreign creditor to the U.S. Now, mind you, some of the stores here that I could go by list: Toys R Us, Macy's, even some of McDonald's actually went over to China. You don't see a Toys R Us here. You don't see a Macy's here anymore. Macy's was recently here. I don't know what, a year or two ago. Even where I lived at, there may still be Macy's here. I don't know, but I know where I live at, there's no Macy's at all. They've been shipped over to China. So all this money that this place has, and people were so upset, wondering why this money is going over, where all this money is going. Well, let's keep going. Let's keep going with this, because now China's interest in U.S. debt is motivated by several factors: pegging the yuan to the dollar, building foreign exchange reserves, taking advantages of U.S. power. So, in hindsight, all this money is not even for this place. Everybody's wondering why we got paid taxes for all this and that. when you already paying for food, and then you gotta just pay extra for it. All right, let's keep on. Uh, let's see. Because at this point, China basically owns the U.S. debt. If I can, I think I actually saw that. Oh yeah, it's right here. China's ownership of U.S. debt increased after the U.S. supported China's entry. So China owns the U.S. debt. So the money, all this money, the debt, we're paying for China. That should tell you something. The United States of Babylon, of America, is basically the United World at this point. Because they got to pay pretty much everybody. Because I will let you know on this note, China's not the only one they owe money to. But let's keep going a little bit further with this. It says, actually, I already got to the point on that one. So here's a list of other places that America owes money to. You got Japan. You got China. Oh wow! Actually, hold up. As of July 2024, Japan is the largest foreign holder of U.S. debt, with 1.5 trillion in treasury securities. So you got Japan, China, United Kingdom, Luxembourg, Canada. List goes on. Switzerland, Ireland, Hong Kong, Bermuda, Germany, Norway, Korea, Saudi Arabia. So you wonder. So people get mad when America got to send money over to Israel or send money to um, Ukraine and all this other stuff. Guess what? The money's old where it's old. But this also makes sense of how they are getting, these other countries are pretty much being a step ahead. Because you got Japan, which apparently now is the largest foreign holder of U.S. debt, has all these machines more than any other country does. I'm talking about them AIs, the robots that I've recently done videos on that showed the robotic arms serving their people at McDonald's. So that tells you something. And I think the list goes on. So apparently, even as I'm even in this is to prove that America is nothing but Rome all over again. So in history, as we understand it, of course, other countries had that issue, but Rome, which was the biggest empire back then, also had a significant debt that they owed to Iran, because of course it was expensive to maintain the army or even the lifestyle that they have. But apparently they owed more than just that to the Iran. They owed it to the Germans. They owed it to the Gauls. And Iran was holding a large amount of the debt. So their fall was also due, or part of their fall was also due to money. This will be no different. So you mean to tell me that the Roman Empire back then, which was one of the biggest, most threatening empires, that should have still been should have still been ruling, had financial issues, because guess what? They was in debt. Let's go on a little bit more. So, of course, I've just typed something random, but it says yes, Roman Empire experienced multiple financial crises that contributed to its fall. So, a 33 CE financial crisis occurred when a law requiring creditors to invest in Italian lands was reinstated. The law was intended to appeal to the elites' belief that Italian agriculture was essential to the Roman state. Now, of course, there's a list that goes on. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Pretty much gone on pretty much enough, but this is just to show you the list of things that led to their part of their fall. and this would be no different. Because especially now, they want the dollar to collapse so they can bring in the MTOB for the NWO. So now they trying to carry this as a backup plan because he knew they failed the first time. So with that they just trying to. But the main thing is that whole MTOB thing is going to fail anyways. So by the time everything's all said and done, the Lord will be back to destroy this place anyway. So they can set up the MTOB anytime they want. It does not matter. But we understand that through the fall of money and a list of other things, it ain't far fetched to see that this is Rome all over again. Egypt, uh, uh, Assyria, you name it. This is just reincarnation. And that's what makes this the biggest captivity of all, because this is all rolled up at once. We get a whole slew of things that'll bring down this place. So I'm going to get this scripture real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus 21:8. It says, "He that buildeth his house with other men's money is like one that gathereth himself stones to the tomb of his burial." So not only is he getting money or basically making this place off of money, because guess what? He funds these wars. They bring in import and export. They make money. Everybody makes money. So now he's making his house off of China's, Japan, Switzerland, and all these other countries. He made this place off of our money too. The gold and silver and all that stuff, which is going to come back to him even harder. So he's just building. He's only digging his own grave even further, and he's thinking he's building an escape route when in reality these rats ain't. So we're gonna enjoy when them rats pretty much go into hiding, because they didn't dig themselves a deep enough ditch to the point they would never come out of it. That's why they might as well continue with their plan. But that's pretty much all I wanted to go into that. So, Lord one, this is a little edifying. With that, shalom.